Hi everyone, welcome to another quick and I would say random session, random topic for the CISSP exam, risk maturity model RMM. Risk maturity model, the purpose of risk maturity model is to measure how advanced or immature an organization risk management practices are. So why it matters? Shows whether risk management is ad hoc, reactive. Reactive means if something happens, then uh, company culture is to respond to that particular issue. So are optimized, proactive, and predictive. So we should have proactive approach rather if something has happened and then we react. So it helps organization improve step by step from chaotic, repeatable, defined, managed, and optimized. Allows comparison between projects, departments, or companies. Provides roadmap for adopting framework like NIST, RMF, ISO 27005, COBIT, and COSO. So for CISSP exam, key point is RMM is used to understand where an organization stands in risk governance, maturity, and what must be improved. Low maturity, I would say, is low maturity is reactive, inconsistent, and risky. High maturity, proactive, integrated, supports business goals. So, RMM shows how mature an organization is at managing risk from reactive firefighting to proactive, predictive risk governance. So, it shows and it helps organization to improve if they are at that stage where they are not matured enough, right, to handle any kind of risk. So they are not in a firefighting mood. If something happens, then they respond to that risk. Rather, they should have proactive and predictive. So that is risk maturity model. So now let's get started. Level one is initial ad hoc. Example, a small startup with no security team. So for instance, if there is a company, startup, no security team, they only react after a breach. For example, someone hacks their website, no policy, no formal process. So if there is a startup and they don't invest in security, so they don't have security experts. Um, so that is very initial and ad hoc phase. Risk management is unstructured, reactive, no consistent practices. So that is initial, very initial stage, or we can say is level one. Level two is same startups hires one IT admin. They start doing basic backups or patching, but it's inconsistent. Some projects follow security, uh, other don't. So there is kind of unstructured way to do things. Uh, in some projects, security is properly covered. In some projects, they don't cover it. So that could be another challenge. Level two. So basic process exist applied inconsistently across project, repeatable. Level three defined. So example, a mid-sized company, they create a risk management policy and document standards. At this stage, they define policy and standards, guide risk management. Uh, Risk assessments are performed for each new project. So as soon as new project is initiated, they perform risk assessment. So here they define proper policies. Level four. Our level 4 is managed. For instance, a large bank risk is integrated into business processes. Very important and key point. So you need to integrate risk into your business processes. They have regular metrics, audits, and reports to executive. Example metric is percentage of system patched within 30 days. So managed, risk integrated in business process, tracked, measures, and reported to the top management, to the respective management. Level 5, optimized, proactive, ideal level or ideal stage. A global financial institution uses AI driven predictive analytics to identify frauds or breaches before they happen. So they are very proactive. Continuous improvement with ISO, COBIT, COSO framework. Risk data directly influences strategic business decisions. If you have risk data, if you uh, if you analyze it proactively, so then that data influences strategic business decision. So if the question describes chaotic reactive, it's level 1. If it says documented standardized, level 3. And if says metric integrated proactive, level 4 and 5. So why it matters in CISSP exam, as we have discussed, that it reflects organizational maturity in risk governance, higher maturity, better integration of risk into business strategy, supports a framework like NIST, RMF, ISO 27005, COBIT, and COSO. So we need to keep in mind all these levels. So if we now talk about um, these framework, for instance, if we talk about risk maturity model is not used alone. It shows how mature your risk practices are. To move up the maturity level, organization usually adopt formal frameworks like NIST RMF, right? 837, a step-by-step technical process for managing risk at the system level. For example, if you are at level 1, at ad hoc or initial level, using NIST RMF can move you to level 3 plus, defined and managed, because it gives you repeatable structured process. ISO 27005, 27001, 27004. ISO 27001 is ISMS management system. 27004, ISO 27004 risk management guidelines. 27004 matrix and measurement of ISMS, right? So at level 4 to 5, organization use ISO 27001, 27005 for consistent governance, and ISO 27004 for measuring maturity with metrics. So COBIT, control objective for information and related technology, IT governance plus risk management, helps ensure IT risk aligns with the business goals. Example, a bank at level 4 might use COBIT to integrate IT risks into overall governance. So COSO, a committee of sponsoring organization of uh, Tradeway Commission. So enterprise risk management ERM framework, broader than IT, focuses on risk across the entire organization. Finance, strategy, operation. Example, at level 5, optimized COSO helps integrate cyber risk with corporate financial risk. So I think what we need to understand for RMM risk maturity model: ad hoc, reactive, no response, initial phase, documented, standardized, policy, defined, matrix integration, continuous improvement, managed, optimize, and think maturity evolves from reactive, proactive risk management. Thank you so much for watching this session. I hope this particular session will help you to understand about RMM. If you have any feedback, question on this topic, please share in the feedback section.